Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name, as always, is Bloodstained Wings, and today we are going to be painting something that I already painted as a tiny painting. This little guy, as you can see here, is a desert dragon with galaxy hair. You can tell that I liked my galaxy hair painting and I wanted to do more. And so I combined it with the idea of doing a dragon because one of my Twitch followers, hi Amber, Cajun Dragon, loves dragons, obviously, and so I decided to do this as her giveaway, thanking her for subscribing, as well as all of the other people on Twitch who are subscribed to me. For anyone who doesn't know, for every 10 subscribers that I have on Twitch every month, I will do a giveaway of a small size painting like this. Anywho, let's see the big version. And here she is. And she is decidedly trying to fall down all the time, so we're going to try to do this quick. This is the big version. If you guys would like to paint along, please feel free to pre-gesso your paintings ahead of time. As you can see here, I had a vague idea of what a desert looks like sketched out, and then the dragon, then I did black where all of the hair is, taped it off so that I could then paint the galaxy without painting all of the sand dunes, and then we ripped off that so that we could then paint the sand dunes. That's how we did it. Let's watch me go. Alright, if you have been painting along, then you'll know that we've already cheated. And we already have an underpainting going on underneath this, as well as some black gesso going on in our space sections for our dragon. Yes, that is right. We are going to have a dragon. Can you see it right now? No, but you saw it in the intro, so you know it's there. I think I'm gonna start with red up here. Do red to about here, have it go back to red over here, so that this section would then be red, and then this whole thing is blue, and then we'll switch to red again over here, have a little tip of the red over there, and then end it with a little red right there. That looks nice. And now we get to switch to the blue. And keep in mind, please, once again, as always and forever, blue is much stronger than red. Much stronger than red. So don't get mad at me if you lose all of your red because you painted it all blue, okay? So you can see here where I'm trying to be very gentle with my blending so that we get a little bit of purple. Just a little bit of purple. I'm just going to start with fresh blue there, move outwards so that then we get a little bit of purple over here and a little bit of purple here, and then we're just going to, if we have purple, make the purple happen over here in its entirety. We're going to be going over the background with lots of other stuff, with yellow ochre and stuff, but yellow ochre and brown, they're not nearly as strong as phthalo blue, so just keep that in mind for when you decide to do any painting along, that the blue many times stronger than literally every other color. Just all of them. All of the colors not as strong as blue. As long as you keep that in mind, we should be okay. Here we go. Little fluffy clouds. We're gonna start in the red, have a little cloud action come down here, float along, and now I've got a big brush and I'm just gonna blend that right out so it looks all nice and floofy. That's the idea. Go back into some white paint. Get a little bit of that going on over there. Grab some more white paint. There we go. Grab a little more white paint. And a little bit more down here. There we go. Keep it simple. All right. Just gonna blend that right out. I forgot this one, but that's okay. We'll just do that. It'll be nice and soft, whispery. There we go. That looks like a nice little tail going on over there. All right, and now we get to do the fun part, which is the Swooshes of White. So I'm gonna grab on the brush that I was applying all of the color. I was gonna say purple, and then I realized I did all of the color with this brush so far. All right, I've got white on it now, and I'm just gonna go into a little bit of my paint thinner. This is paint thinner, not goop, very specifically. So my paint is very, very thin, and that's the idea, that we have very thin paint. And then, what? All right, and then we go ahead and add a little bit of some stars. Now I have the background taped off to protect it while I did the splashes, because I knew that I was gonna do that. Now we have our lovely galaxy tail. I'm gonna clean this brush. Whee! Paint thinner. All right. I am also going to clean this brush, because we're about to go into the yellows, and I've said this many times and I will continue to say this, but yellow is a very weak color. All of the other colors are much stronger than yellow, and yellow just doesn't know how to stand up to them. So even yellow ochre, which is one of the stronger yellows, still not very strong. So we are going to reveal our dragon. Okay, there's most of the dragon. Some nice peel point action right there for you. A little bit of problems right there. There we go, we got it. Okay. Now you can see the rest of the dragon. Excellent. I did kind of like a more horsey face, I guess, on this dragon. Why, you ask? I don't have an answer for you. I just did. So that's my answer. And then I've got a bunch of sand dunes, and I'm going to be very careful when applying the goop, because now I need the rest of the canvas to be gooped. There we go. Just gonna very gently, I need more goop, very gently goopify the rest of this canvas. Just real gentle, like trying to make sure that there's no hair in the way. I have a lot of hair. If anybody else is a painter and also has a lot of hair, shout out to dealing with that. Right? Oh God, so much of that. Okay, now that we have that whole thing down, just gonna double check, make sure that our paintbrush here is dry and doesn't have any paint thinner left on it, or any blue, which is very important. And now we're gonna come in with the yellow ochre, and I'm just gonna basically paint all of the rest of this with yellow ochre. I'm gonna use a little bit of goop to thin it down, just to make sure that it flows nicely and goes faster, because I've got a tiny brush and I didn't grab a larger brush. And that's me being silly. I should have grabbed a bigger brush, but I didn't, so that's okay. It's not okay. We're gonna go grab a bigger brush. Okay, the good news is I'm back and I got 2 bigger brushes. One of them that is much more blendy, which is gonna help us to shape everything. So that's good. And the other is more flat and we can use for the application purposes. So I can just come in here and apply large swaths of yellow ochre. This paper, this canvas paper, is much thirstier than my other paper that I usually use. That or I'm using the wrong side. I'm not entirely sure. I may have prepped this in the dark. Not entirely in the dark, but I do multiple things at the same time sometimes, and these are the results. It's okay. Oil paint will penetrate both sides if they really need to. Alright, we have the bottom yellow ochreified. We just need to do the rest of it. We just have just the rest to do. So this may take a hot moment as I get more goop and get more yellow ochre going on my brush. There we go. Just gonna try to blend that out. It is much more smoothed. Because this is sand, it's got to be smooth. I might just cut to this being done, because this is going to take me a while. But also, I know that some people really enjoy the painting sounds. So I'll probably leave it in. And also, editing makes my life difficult, so let's just leave it in. Oh boy, this is a hot mess right now. But we're also at the very beginning, so just have to give it a bit more time to first of all get the color down, which is what we're trying to do right now. Is just get the yellow ochre on the canvas. We just need it to be yellow ochre. I'm going to also try to spread it into the sky a little bit so that we have yellow ochre in the sky. And also apparently more hair. More hair is important. Please make sure to get your local long-haired person to apply some of their hair. And when in doubt, if you don't have a local long-haired person to have their hair on your canvas, please feel free to grab a cat. Cat also is a great source of hair on canvas. Just, FYI on that one. Just if you run out of human hair, feel free to use cat hair. Everyone who has cats right now is like, oh, right? So much cat fur. And everyone right now who has seen my cat is like, God, you really do have a fluffy cat. I think that summarized my entire audience. Hello, everyone. Coming in here with a little bit of the yellow ochre. Yellow ochre. There should be a yellow ochre song. I don't have a yellow ochre song, but I feel like there should be. And not like, this is the yellow ochre song. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. I am so sorry. I just got that in the head of everyone in my audience. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I started singing it and I... But I'll continue singing it forever, just because. I'm sorry. Oh no, we have some red in the sky. That's okay. A little red's not gonna hurt anybody. The blue is really where the problem is, because then we'll have green, and we don't want green. This is a desert. Now, I don't often paint deserts. That's not often what I paint, because I do, in fact, very much enjoy phthalo blue and painting entire canvases phthalo blue. Perhaps one day I will try to make a blue desert, so that I can enjoy my dreams of having phthalo blue on everything. Just everything being phthalo blue. When in doubt, phthalo blue. But no, I think that it won't look like sand if it's not that like yellow ochre color that sand is. It's like weird, dirty yellow. You know, you'd be surprised that I actually like the color yellow ochre, the way that I described it. Weird, dirty yellow. I do like the color yellow ochre. I think it is quite beautiful. But, I don't know how to describe it other than the way that I just did. Because that's kind of how it is. It's kind of dirty. It's kind of a dirty yellow. It's dirty. Okay, we got that one pretty close. We may come in with a liner brush and some yellow ochre to make it look a little better, but for now that's looking pretty close. Come in here, add a little bit more, and then we're gonna come in and add some like shading and highlights. I actually did this as a giveaway painting and then was like, this turned out awesome. I'm gonna make it a bigger painting, much like my galaxy hair one. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, go watch more of my paintings. But the galaxy hair one actually inspired the dragon one. It was for one of my followers, Cajun Dragon. And Cajun Dragon loves dragons, obviously, because her name is Cajun Dragon. And I never call her that, but that is her name. And I thought, you know, I really liked that galaxy hair one that I did. What if I tried to do something like that, but instead of human hair, or I guess whatever, yeah, human. Let's go with human, because it was a statue. So human hair. What if I made it a dragon hair? Because you know how like the Eastern dragons are like kind of fluffy. That's kind of what I'm going for here, with the top of this sand dune being like the hair of the dragon, and then the rest of the dragon's body is underneath the dune situation. I also thought it would get me more practice at doing sand dunes and sand in general. I'm not very good at doing those kind of things. And generally, if you're not good at doing something, if you're not confident at that thing, you know what you should do? Practice it. You should practice it. And what am I using these YouTube videos for, if not to practice my own painting techniques? Teaching other people how to paint? Maybe. I don't think anybody actually is painting along. But if you are, please let me know. I would love to know that somebody is actually painting along. And if this is years from the days that I painted it, and we're in the far, far future, and somebody is watching it because they were like, yes, BSW was the coolest, and you wanted to know what my early works were like, I guess this is it. This is what my early works are like. Before I became wildly popular. And that's why you're still watching this to this day, is because I'm wildly popular. I can't even say that without laughing. Which is gonna be funny if I ever do become wildly popular, but it's not gonna happen. Let's blend out the face a little bit. Pull out some of that color. Just get that real nice and close, hopefully. I did that red on purpose because I realized it was going to be very close to all of the other things that were going on, and that I was going to have a lot of hard time blending it out. So I was like, well, just paint it red, because red is not as strong as blue. And if it's blue, I'm gonna have a nightmare trying to blend that out. So, like right here, where I kind of have a nightmare, but that's okay. We'll blend it out. We're gonna add brown there anyway, so it'll be okay. Okay, now we almost have a base that I'm happy with. Almost. We just want to get a little bit closer over here. Okay, now we can darken up some of the things. Hang on. Excuse me. All right. Yes. I'm gonna blend out more of this because I feel like that's just a little bit too dark. So we're just gonna blend that out. Blend, blend, blend. All right. All right. We now have a roughly even tone to most of this. So now we can do our highlighting and our low lighting. Let's start with the highlighting. That makes the most sense. So we want the highlight to be white. Okay, and then the white is gonna go along here to really just brighten up that curve and make it look much more there. We're also going to highlight it along this curve here. And we're going to highlight it along this side over here. Like that. And then we're going to highlight this part here. Make that ridge stand out a bit. I'm just going to blend that because I ended up with a lot. That's okay. Just blend. And the more you blend, the more the white will disappear into the yellow ochre, and you'll end up with something very nice and soft. All right, already looking a little more edgy, which is great. What else do we want? We want to highlight the horse and stuff. The face. It's not a horse. It's definitely a dragon. But first, I'm going to highlight this guy a little bit in the background, just really gently. Same with this one over here, real gentle, real gentle. A little list of highlights, so it looks a little more like a little mound, like a little mound. Excellent. I think I want a little bit more over here. And the thing with this is that we're just going to be pushing the values, brightening up the brights, darkening up the darks, so that there's that contrast to give it the shape that we want. So now we've got the brights. I'm pretty happy with the brights. I don't think it needs to be any brighter than that, but the darks need to be darker. So we're going to go into a little bit more goop, and I'm running low on my goop. It's okay, I have a whole nother bottle, but I don't want to open the other bottle yet. All right, a little goop. And then we're gonna go into a little bit of the brown. This is burnt umber. And with the brown, we're gonna come in here and just really darken that edge right there. And that's gonna help that to feel like it's this like edge that everything is darker and shadowy. See how already it looks much more like a sharp turn? That's what I'm talking about. Pushing those values so you end up getting that difference. That's what this whole portion is about. Learning how to push and pull those values so that they end up giving you the result you're looking for, which is shape and dimension, and you want to shape things. Yeah, so see how it gets like a little bit littler there? That's to give depth and distance, and that's what we're trying to do. Give it depth and distance. Let's do the front one. Now you can see I did do a little bit of this with the gesso ahead of time, so that I had an idea of where I was putting things and what was going where. But we are definitely darkening and exaggerating all of these values because we want this to have that shaded look. We want it to have that, like, this is the edge of the sand coming up, and then the fur just kind of sticks right out of it. All right, just a little bit more, I think, on that part. I think it just needs just a smidgen more of the darkness to really get it going where I want it to go. Yes, now we've got that darkness, there we go, over there, which is great. We got another spot that needs darkness over here. And we're just gonna kind of go under the tail but also smooth the tail so it looks like the tail is kind of like coming out of the dune and the shadows. I'm falling off my chair. There we go. So you can see that it has a lot more movement already and things look a lot more 3D. That's what we're going for. A little more 3D action. I'm also going to shade underneath our little floppy tail here. Come in here with a little bit of brown. It's gonna help make that look like it's floating a little bit above the sand. Maybe I should have done highlights on it. That's a good idea. Let's get some really thin down white on our liner brush. I'm gonna come in here and highlight. To make it look more like there is some light that's just zinging across here and catching the edge of that tail. Just gonna have that tail go right in, like so. And now it exists. Look at that. All right. Highlights, I guess. Just gonna try to like blend it a little bit more. Try to blend a little bit. I'm gonna try to not have blue. No, we're gonna give up on that. We're gonna use this one. There we go. I just needed to blend it a little bit, that's all. All right, time to do all the details on the face. Which is also going to take us a little while. So I'm just going to start with the ear. Keep in mind, if you're doing this at home, where your light source is. So the way I have this set is that my light is coming from over here. So this is my light source. And so that's why I'm highlighting this side of the ear. And I'm also going to highlight that side of everything else. And that's the idea, is that you just give a little highlight to the spots that are going to be more highlighted by the sun. Now we have like a little ridge for our eye, little eye spot. Nice smooth highlight. And I'm gonna come back and blend this so that it looks nice, but for right now, we're just gonna try to highlight it a little bit, and then we're gonna come back, of course, and blend it. Now I'm just lightly dabbing up and down to kind of blend it very gently. I don't want it to be so harsh. There we go. There we go, just a little blendy. Excellent. And now we can come in with the low lights. I'm gonna clean my brush of the white, go back into the goop, get it nice and thin, and go right into the brown. And again, this is just burnt umber. And then we can come in and give some shading. Just real focus in on all of those tiny details. If you have a detail-oriented mind, now is the time to apply it. I don't overly, so I tend to simplify my shadows and highlights significantly, which is less than ideal, but also just the truth. So we just gotta deal with what we got. Here, shade the bottom of our muzzle, and then once again we're just gonna blend that, but this time I'm gonna blend it with the smaller. It already has some brown on it, so it might as well be used for blending. There we go. And now the burnt umber is a fairly translucent brown. And so you can still see all of the other things going on around it. There we go. And then really delicately, I use that brown and paint the eye. Really delicately. Needs a little bit more. I am trying very hard. This is one of those don't breathe moments. Someone breathed. I heard it. But now we have a sassy eye, where previously we did not, but that's okay. We'll come back in with a little white. Make sure it's nice and thin and nice and white. It's kind of brownish, but we're gonna go with it. Eyeball. Shiny shines. There we go, eyeball shines. Success. I'm not one of those highly detailed, does like a billion things with a little tiny brush kind of people, but I think we did mostly okay. Now obviously there are like legs hidden about that are all hidden in the thing. Oh, we forgot to do the darkness up here. Oh, whoops. Hang on. We're not done yet. We gotta do the darkness over here. But we did do our dragon's face. As best as I can do a dragon's face. Look, I'm not super good at this when it comes to doing faces. It's not my specialty. My specialty is not faces. But I do think that these sand dunes turned out pretty spectacularly. Look at that! Look at that sand dune action. We got solid sand dune actions going on through here. It's got a lot of like movement and a lot of light. I think I might highlight a bit more. Maybe just a smidgen more of highlight on this part to really like make that part pop. Like the idea is just to push the value slightly to make them more maybe on the top one as well. Just to give it that little extra so it can stand out. Yeah, that looks much more bright and airy, which is good. We want that to be brighter so that the rest of it can be darker, and yeah, the contrasts are all there represented, and we got ourselves some nice contrary sand dune situations. There. Okay, enough fussing. Right, let's stop fussing. Okay, I agree. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I kept the sky very simple in this one. So I figured we're going to be spending so much time doing all the rest of it that we might as well keep the sky simple. So it's just got like some columns of light essentially from the, because I pulled up with the yellow ochre. So it's giving this kind of effect with the sky to make it look all hazy, which is pretty cool. And there it is. This dragon needs a name. If you guys would like to make suggestions as to what you think this dragon's name should be, please let me know. If you say horsey, I tried very hard to make it not look like a horse, but I did use a horse as a reference for the face because I really like dragons that have more horse features. There's no easy way of saying I just like unicorns, is there? I like dragons that look like unicorns because I like unicorns. Because I like unicorns? I like unicorns. Okay, great. Good. That's it. That's my painting. Thank you so much to everyone for joining me today. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for all of my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate you guys, and your names are going by. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and please remember that you are loved and you deserve to be loved, and I will see you guys next week. Mwah! Have a great summer!